Welcome to our Books Summary channel, Explore Books.
Today, we will get a summary of another new book.
When the Moon Split is a comprehensive biography of the Prophet Muhammad, the founder of Islam. The book is authored by Tabassum Siraj, Michael Richardson, and Badrazim Abadi and provides a detailed account of the Prophet's life from his birth to his death. The book is divided into several chapters, each covering a different aspect of the Prophet's life and teachings. The book begins with a brief introduction to the political and social conditions of Arabia before the birth of the Prophet. The authors describe the tribal structure of Arabia and the various religious and cultural practices prevalent at the time. The authors also discuss the Prophet's lineage and the circumstances of his birth, including the death of his father before he was born. The book then moves on to describe the early years of the Prophet's life, including his childhood and upbringing. The authors describe the close relationship between the Prophet and his mother, Amina, and his time spent with his grandfather, Abdul Muttalib. The authors also describe the various jobs and trades that the Prophet engaged in during his early years, including his time as a shepherd and his work as a trader. The book then goes on to describe the Prophet's marriage to Khadijah, who was a wealthy widow. The authors describe the deep respect and admiration that the Prophet had for Khadijah and the mutual support and companionship that characterized their marriage. The authors also describe the various challenges and difficulties that the Prophet faced during his early years as a prophet, including the persecution of his followers by the non-Muslim Meccan tribes. The book then moves on to describe the Prophet's migration to Medina, which is considered a turning point in the history of Islam. The authors describe the various events and circumstances that led to the migration, including the increasing hostility of the Meccans towards the Muslims. The authors also describe the Prophet's role in establishing the first Islamic state in Medina and the various social, economic, and political reforms that he instituted during this period. The book then goes on to describe the various military campaigns and battles that the Prophet and his followers engaged in during the early years of Islam. The authors describe the various alliances and treaties that the Prophet established with the various tribes of Arabia, as well as his military strategies and tactics. The authors also describe the various trials and tribulations that the Prophet and his followers faced during these campaigns, including the Battle of Uhud and the Siege of Medina. The book then moves on to describe the Prophet's return to Mecca, which is considered a pivotal moment in the history of Islam. The authors describe the various diplomatic and military efforts that the Prophet and his followers undertook to reclaim the city of Mecca from the non-Muslim Meccans. The authors also describe the various religious and cultural reforms that the Prophet instituted after the conquest of Mecca, including the destruction of idols and the establishment of Islam as the dominant religion of Arabia. The book then goes on to describe the final years of the Prophet's life, including his farewell pilgrimage to Mecca and his death. The authors describe the various teachings and advice that the Prophet imparted to his followers during this period, as well as his emphasis on compassion, justice, and mercy. The authors also describe the various challenges and difficulties that the Muslim community faced after the Prophet's death, including the various disputes and disagreements over his succession. Throughout the book, the authors provide detailed and insightful commentary on the various aspects of the Prophet's life and teachings. The authors draw on a wide range of historical and religious sources, including the Quran, the Hadith, and various biographical accounts of the Prophet's life. The authors also provide detailed descriptions of the various social, economic, and political conditions of Arabia at the time, which helps to contextualize the various events and circumstances of the Prophet's.
Thank you for visiting our channel, Explore Books. We hope you found the summary informative and helpful. Please subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon for more updates. Happy reading!